Yavapai Broadcasting and the City of Cottonwood proudly present Inside Cottonwood, an inside look at the decisions and issues of the City of Cottonwood. Brought to you by Arizona Smile Designers.
Good morning and welcome to Inside Cottonwood. My name is Jason Little, Recreation Manager. With me today I have Hezekiah Allen, Special Events and Aquatics Coordinator for the city as well. Hezekiah, it's an exciting time right now.
It is. It's very exciting and busy.
We have a short segment here, 30 minutes, and we got two of the city's, like I said, premier signature events. A lot of information to cover, so welcome to the show. And if you could just start off briefly and give us a little background on the Thunder Valley Rally and what the dates are.
Sure. Thunder Valley Rally was kind of the brainchild of Cliff Castle Casino and Mike Spurgeon. The program, they came up with a program to kind of highlight the area, northern Arizona, and bring people to the casino. After 10 years, they decided, well, maybe we should hand the baton off. So they approached the city council and the city manager and said, would you guys like this? We've spent 10 years branding this program, promoting it. It's a great opportunity for Old Town. So at that time, city council deemed it, and we took the program over. So.
Last year, I was really impressed. You had, I think, 350 riders. I mean, for a first year, that's not a bad turnout.
Right.
Now, I understand you and other staff members have spent a great deal of time this year kind of traversing the state, going other places, and advertising this event. Before we get into pre-registration and costs and things like that, can you tell us a little bit about what you've done on that end?
You are correct. The staff has worked tremendously hard this year promoting this program, going to different events throughout the state. We went to Arizona Bike Week in March, and that was a week-long program. It was a good time. We had fun doing it, but we also met a lot of contacts, a lot of vendors. They helped us out. It's helped us out tremendously this year because we made all those contacts at Arizona Bike Week with meeting vendors, T-shirt people, all kinds of things, and we were able to talk a lot of those people come up to our program. And the dates, I forgot to answer that question, was September 14th, 15th, and 16th this year. So it's coming up not this weekend, but the next weekend.
Every year we kind of hold our breath. I mean, large events like this, it's always about ticket sales in advance. Pre-registration, how's it looking, and what are costs for pre-registration for Thunder Valley Rally?
Pre-registration's looking great. We hope to hit 100 before the program. It's a $5 difference. So whatever package you sign up for, whether it's a t-shirt package / lunch package or your individual rider, one person, no lunch, no t-shirt package, it's all a $5 difference. So you can save that money all the way up until Friday, which is the last day for pre-registration, and then Saturday it goes to regular cost.
Okay, now you said there's a $5 savings. What are the costs?
The cost for the programs, I'll go over this real quick. It's $50 for the pre-registration shirt / lunch package, $40 for pre-registration single rider, $30 for pre-registration regular rider, and pre-registration regular package is $25.
Great, and how about a day of registration?
Day of registration, those all go down $5.
Or up $5?
Up $5, correct, yeah.
Great. You mentioned the t-shirt lunch package, you mentioned the mugs and things like that.
Right.
What exactly is available in these packages? T-shirt lunch, what do you get?
So the pre-registration shirt / lunch package with a rider, you get one shirt, 2 lunches, 1 Rhythm Ribs tickets, and 2 ride cards. So if your wife or significant partner of any sort is riding with you, they also get a ride card and a lunch as well. And if you're the first 280 people to pre-register or register for the program, you get a TVR mug, which is like a little mason jar with a handle on. It's pretty cool.
That was a neat concept last year. I liked it. I think I had it a little bit behind that. But are any of the vendors in Old Town, are they still going to honor it to where they'll fill up the mug during the event, or how does that work? Have you worked on that side?
They'll fill up the mug, but as far as doing the $2 beers, we had issues with that last year. A couple of vendors didn't do it, some did do it, so just kind of ease it. We said if they have a TVR mug, just fill it up for them. So.
Well, I have to admit, it's nice to have in your office too. It's a nice little signature piece to look at, and the mugs are really nice.
They say cold too.
They say what?
Cold. You put them in the freezer and ice gets on them.
That's great.
Kool-Aid in them. Yeah. Whatever you do.
Kool-Aid. Yeah. I'm a Kool-Aid guy myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, the event is 3 days. I know there's not a lot going on Sunday per se.
Right.
But Friday, you have packed it out.
Yeah.
Can you give the audience a little teaser about what they can expect if they come down, pre-register Friday, and then decide to walk the street?
Yeah.
What's available?
Staff learned a lot last year from doing the program as a first-year program. And one of the things we learned is that people wanted more things to do on Friday. The goal with the program is to get people in town and for them to stay the weekend, spend money, and walk around and see what we have to offer. So, but with that in mind, we also realize we're not going to get a lot of people up from Phoenix and surrounding areas on Friday. People still have to work. So what we did is kind of tailored Friday towards the local crowd, the Verde Valley crowd, Northern Arizona crowd. So we booked bands that have a great reputation in this area, Aces and Eights, Cadillac Angels, and Major Lingo. Major Lingo, it's one of their last gigs this year, so it kind of worked out nice. In addition to that, we have the Barley and Grapes ride, which riders can pick up a card, go to the different wineries and restaurants/bars in the area, and they get their first free taste of wine for free. And then they can go into a flight or a glass of wine. It equates to 5 ounces of wine if you do the ride and try the wine for free. In addition to that, we also have the vendors and stuff like that in Old Town.
So the vendors are going to set up Friday. Interesting. To me, the ride is in and of itself unique on Friday. Can you give the audience just a little background on some of the routes they could take on their bikes and what wineries are participating in the Barley and Grapes ride?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. We give the card out, and there's not a specific route they can take. We just say, here are the wineries that are participating. Go at your own pace. It's from 4 to 7, 4 to 5, somewhere around in there. So they can take Page Springs Road, which is a beautiful scenic route, and then they can go up to Jerome and try to do the wineries there. The ones we have participating this year is Oak Creek, Javelina Leap, the 2 Bitter Creek and Jerome wineries in Jerome, Rendezvous, and the Vineyard in Old Town.
So conceivably, you could get on your bike, drive through Page Springs, is that right? And that's the road I'm talking about. I mean, it has historic significance. A lot of nice scenery out there. Head up to Jerome, a lot cooler up there. Looks like the weather's going to cooperate with us this year.
You know, I hope so.
Driving here this morning.
There's some people on the staff. There's some wagers going with rain and stuff, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, Saturday, culmination of the event. Everyone's excited. You have people showing up from hopefully regionally, Phoenix, Tucson, Flagstaff, Payson, wherever. What can they expect Saturday morning, and what can you participate in?
It's a great point. Saturday is the day for the program. It goes from like 7 in the morning till 9. Registration starts at 7 a.m. In addition to people regional, we also have people that what we've noticed is the pre-registration people are actually from New Mexico, Utah, from surrounding states, which is kind of interesting to see as they come in. But day of, you can pre-register, you register for the program day of. Then we have a bike blessing, and then Knights of Columbus is doing a pancake breakfast that morning. That'll take place on the basketball court. They'll leave around 10 o'clock for the poker run, do the ride, and come back around 4 o'clock. We'll have bands going from noon all the way till 9. And we'll have the vendors in Old Town. And then in addition, we're pretty lucky in this area because the vendors really, they enjoy this program and see it as an opportunity as a business person. So they've all put together programs, bands, live music, food specials, drink specials, all kinds of stuff that are all in the TVR trifold right here that you can go through when you get to the program and figure out, you know, what exactly do we want to do.
What I find fascinating is that ride. Can you give the audience just a little background on where they go and maybe some of the ride stops where they're going to stop on Saturday?
You know, we've traveled around Arizona, and you kind of see the layout, and I think we have the best area in the state of Arizona to ride in. That's my opinion. Take it for what it counts. But when you leave from Cottonwood and you go up through Oak Creek Canyon, and then you come up to Flagstaff to Lake Mary Road and come back down 260 through Camp Verde, it's stunningly beautiful. So the first stop is Old Sedona Bar and Grill. The second stop is Mormon Lake Lodge, and then you go to Clint's Well. The fourth stop is Cliff Castle Casino, and then obviously the fifth is Old Town Cottonwood. And then you can grab your lunch at Mormon Lake Lodge.
Now at these places, there's a poker run. What do? You stop and get your card punched at each of the places you just mentioned. Is that correct?
It's funny because I just got an email yesterday, and it's from a rider, and he's like, hey, I just want you guys to know that there's ways to cheat the program. If you just do cards, then you can do sleight of hand tricks. So rest assured, we do not do cards. It's a number system, 1 through 52. No cards are involved. They simply come up to there'll be somebody at each stop, and they'll come up, they'll pick a number 1 through 52. And then with that, so they'll get 5 punches. There's 5 different punches, whether it's a star or an oval. When they get back to Old Town, then we review the cards and see that they have 5 different punches. Those numbers correlate to cards, and then that's how we get the high hand and the low hand.
That's fantastic. Thanks for the detailed breakdown there. I think right now would be a good time for a break. When we come back, I'd like to talk about some of the vendors that are going to be there and
Great.
some of the entertainment you have lined up. And then lastly, I'd like to get into our other signature program, Rhythm and Ribs. So just to give the audience a brief telephone number, can you give them a number to call if they have any information that they would like answered prior to next weekend's event?
Sure. 928-639-3200. My extension is 3215 if you have a detailed question. If not, the front desk can handle most questions.
Great. Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to be talking about entertainment and vendors at Thunder Valley Rally.
Meet the team at Arizona Smile Designers, offering complete, comprehensive, restorative, and aesthetic dentistry. Dr. Vergara and Dr. Lord specialize in dental health, implants, and cosmetic dental procedures. Expert staff and state-of-the-art equipment bring forth the most from your smile. Dr. Ripplinger conveniently comes to Arizona Smile Designers for oral surgery and complicated procedures. Visit Arizona Smile Designers at 350 South Willard in Cottonwood. Insurance and new patients are welcome. Call 634-8610.
Good morning and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. Jason Little here with Hezekiah Allen, Parks and Recreation Department. We're talking about the upcoming Thunder Valley Rally. It's just 7 days away, Hezekiah. When we went to break, you were briefly describing all of the rides, the ride stops, the routes they're going to take, the cost of the packages, and everything like that. There's 2 things that we haven't discussed, and I would like to discuss them just briefly preface them before we get into Rhythm and Ribs. And that's, with an event like this, you have to have a lot of vendors.
Yeah.
A lot of participation from outside agencies and outside businesses. Who do we have this year?
You nailed it. When people come to the program, and this is what we stress with the vendors when we call them, we're not out to make the money back on the program through charging vendor fees. It's just not going to happen. But when people get to the program, they want to see the different vendors. They want to see what's new and latest out on the market, the custom motorcycles, the custom paint. That's what takes up that time when you come down to a program. And that's, we've all attended those programs where you're like, they don't have anything here. Why am I here? Why did I come from Phoenix for this? So we've tried our hardest through those contacts, Arizona Bike Week and other programs, to gather a great list of vendors this year. We have around 30 vendors. And one of the things we've also wanted to key on is historic. Bring in historic motorcycles and cars and things for the kid to enjoy, all the way up to the adult, or even the mom to enjoy as well. We've focused on bike builders, parts manufacturers. Obviously, you have your leathers and stuff like that. We've tried not to compete with any of the vendors down in Old Town. That's not our goal with this program. Like I said, our goal is to bring people to the area and showcase what we have. Some of the more prominent vendors that we have is Old School Choppers from Las Vegas, Ramjet Performance from Phoenix, DP Customs from, I believe they're from the southern Phoenix area, and we have some Precision Billet. We're working on them. The Tri-Chalk Shop from Mayor, and like I said, some other historic vendors as well. So around about 30 vendors we'll have. And then Speeds Performance, which is a...
That was my next question.
Was it?
You stole my thunder.
That's
so
all
go
right.
ahead. Yeah.
Pretty prolific dyno tuning performance shop nationwide. They travel to Laughlin, Sturgis, all the major bike events they come. It's probably a 60-foot semi-truck with the front half is an engine building shop and the second half is a dyno machine. So pretty excited. They're going to be out in front of D&K Cycles.
Something else I find really exciting about this event is the entertainment you have lined up.
Yeah.
The Eagles. They're their own entity.
Right.
And I guess only 2 other bands in the continental northern hemisphere can play their music. Is that correct?
From what I understand, Eagles, obviously, amazing act, years and years of history there, great hits, great albums. There's 2 Hotel California bands, and I'm sure people out there have Googled Hotel California and went, they're not coming here. Well, there's the Canada version, then there's United States version. The Hotel California band that we have coming is the band out of Los Angeles, and they're the #1 hotel or Eagles tribute band. They're actually authorized by the Eagles to perform that music. They've been doing it for a number of years. Each one of the musicians on that band, a lot of people think tribute band, they're just a bunch of, they're playing, they're jukebox is what they are. But each one of the members on this band, from doing research, they're all accomplished musicians that have played with Boston, Van Halen, and all these other acts as well, and just came together to put this band together.
Will they be standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona, or
possibly? They do that program each year too. So
that's great. Now, what time does that kick off? The Eagles.
The Eagles kick off around, let's see here, 7:30 to 9 p.m. Before that, we've got the Mods 12 to 1:30, 74th Street Band 2 to 3:30, Rudy Boy 4 to 5:30, and Hard Ride 6 p.m. to 7:15.
I've heard a lot of good things about Hard Ride too.
Yeah, great band. We saw them at Arizona Bike Week. The lead singer has one of those voices that just puts goosebumps on you. So they're going to be exciting too.
One other question I have for you, sponsors.
Okay.
An event like this, you have to have really good sponsors to pull it off. I mean, we're always working on a tight budget, trying to do our best to be accountable.
Right.
Who else is sponsoring the event?
Well, first and foremost, you can't say enough about Cliff Castle Casino Hotel. They're our big brothers off of I-17, and they have their fingers in everything, and they really help to promote the Verde Valley, and they see it as we're all part of a team. So that's great to have them on our side. In addition to that, we've got Grand Canyon Harley Davidson. They're Northern Arizona's Harley Davidson dealership. They'll be down there doing demo rides and selling motorcycles and stuff like that. Arizona Bike Week, Yavapai Broadcasting, KKLD, Q102, KBRD, D&K Cycles and Service, Old Town Association, Budweiser, Pepsi, Verde Valley Live Audio, KJ Designs, and Law Tigers.
Sounds like you have them lined up pretty good.
Yeah.
There's one other facet to the program I'd like to discuss real briefly, if you could keep it to just a couple of minutes, and that's the bike show.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the bike show?
D&K Cycles and Service, they also do Harley. They do Harley metric service. They're just right outside of town on 260. If you get a chance, stop by and see them. They're doing the bike show this year. Real quick, the divisions are Pro Build, and there's a $600 prize for that. Amateur Build, $400. Vintage, $400. Rat Bike, $400. Metric, $400. Best in Iron, $100. In addition to the prize money, they also get gift certificates. For the overall best, that person's going to get a photo shoot with their motorcycle and a big 30x60 photo printed out. It's going to take place down there by the main stage, around the main stage, and on next to the right of the new winery that's down there.
That's staggering. Before we before we segue into Rhythm and Ribs, can you also talk about how you've kind of condensed everything this year? Because I think that will add more appeal to the program.
Yeah. Like I said, staff learned a lot last year about the program and how it worked in Old Town. One of the things we did last year is we kind of spread it out and put the bike show on the Old Town Activity Park. I think it's a great idea once we get larger, in the future, which is obviously the plan. But for now, it's nice to have it all down in Old Town and keep people moving up and down the street. So on Friday night, it's going to be the second half of the street from the Vineyard down. Saturday, we're going to close the whole street down, and pretty much the front half of the street is going to be motorcycle parking only.
That's fantastic. Well, at this time, I'd go ahead and like to take one more break before we segue into Rhythm and Ribs, because I believe it's our 8th annual this year. We've been doing it a long time, 7th or 8th. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So just to give you guys a little teaser, when we come back, we're going to be talking about Rhythm and Ribs, tickets, entertainment, rib vendors, everything you can think of, and we'll be here when you come back.
Meet the team at Arizona Smile Designers, offering complete comprehensive, restorative, and aesthetic dentistry. Dr. Vergara and Dr. Lord specialize in dental health, implants, and cosmetic dental procedures. Expert staff and state-of-the-art equipment bring forth the most from your smile. Dr. Ripplinger conveniently comes to Arizona Smile Designers for oral surgery and complicated procedures. Visit Arizona Smile Designers at 350 South Willard in Cottonwood. Insurance and new patients are welcome. Call 634-8610.
Thousands of fires across the United States are caused by careless people. Hi, I'm Fire Marshal Rick Contreras with the Cottonwood Fire Department. The major threat of human-caused fires are from burning debris that get out of control or improperly extinguished or unattended campfires. Remember that fireworks have no place on our wild lands. Become part of the solution. Learn more about proper fire safety by contacting the local fire department.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood, the show that keeps you in the know of everything happening here in the Verde Valley. We just finished discussing Thunder Valley Rally, which is upcoming September 14th, 15th, and 16th.
That's correct.
And right behind that, Hezekiah.
Rhythm Ribs.
Rhythm Ribs. And right here in front of me, I have some of last year's winning ribs. Hezekiah, I understand that tickets just went on sale for Rhythm Ribs. It's coming up the 22nd, as I mentioned. Can you briefly give us pricing on the tickets?
Advanced tickets are $15. Day of is $20. VIP is $25, and with that you get 3 free samples of ribs with each level of ticket.
Okay, now, right now, it's pre-registration, or you can buy them in advance.
Advanced tickets, yep.
Okay, day of, what do they go up to?
$20, and then VIP is $25 for the entire time.
And what does a VIP ticket get you, Hezekiah?
That gets you a seat up next to the stage, and you can take your chair down, or 2 or 3 chairs, and put a blanket, whatever you want to do. And you also have your specific beer booth where just VIP people can go. So you don't have to wait in lines with everybody else, all the normal folk.
Exactly, the normal folk. Okay, last year I believe the program hours were 11 to 8. Have they changed this year?
Yeah, they're right there. 11 to 8:30 is the time of the program this year.
And as in every year, everyone's probably on the edge of their seat at home, or I would be anyway, because this is something I like to talk about. What kind of musical entertainment do you have lined up for the Ribs this year?
This year we got Combo Deluxe, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Christopher Robin Band, 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Breakdown, Tom Petty Tribute, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Lou Gramm, The Voice of Foreigner, 7 to 8:30 p.m.
As you mentioned, a lot of the events, a lot of the acts you get are local. You mentioned Combo Deluxe?
Yeah, Combo Deluxe, Lori McDonald. I spoke with her last week, and she assured me that they are going to be there, and she's excited for the show.
That's exactly where I was going with that question, Hezekiah. Can you tell us a little bit about this Tom Petty Tribute Band?
Yeah, it's funny, reading up on the Tom Petty Tribute Band, they started getting into this because the lead singer had won multiple Tom Petty look-alike shows, and they were already musicians. They had their own band at the time, and they figured, what the heck, let's give this a shot and see what the Tom Petty Tribute Band gets them. They sound exactly like Tom Petty. It's going to be a great show. We're excited about them.
What is the difference between Foreigner and Lou Gramm, the voice of Foreigner? A lot of people, we don't want people showing up thinking they're going to see Foreigner. Can you explain the difference?
Right. That's a great question. Foreigner basically was Mick Jones and Lou Gramm. Lou Gramm had actually tried out for the band at that time, which was called, I believe, Trigger. And if you're a Foreigner expert out there, don't call me up and, you know, I'm not an expert by any means. So at that time, so it was Mick Jones, Lou Gramm, and a couple other original members. After years and years go by, it was basically Mick Jones and Lou Gramm. And then they split up around the 90s. 2000s, around that time period, got back together for a little bit because of the riots in Los Angeles, decided let's, you know, end this and go on tour for a little bit longer. So basically, Foreigner is Mick Jones. They have one original member. Lou Gramm is one original member of Foreigner, and he does his own thing. Lou Gramm still sings all the Foreigner songs. It's like Paul Rogers. Paul Rogers of Bad Company tours just as Paul Rogers, even though he's playing all Bad Company music.
So Lou Gramm sang all the hits of Foreigner.
Yeah.
And he's going to be singing those there.
He's the voice of Foreigner.
Now, Lou Gramm also had some voice troubles. How's his voice?
Yeah. Lou Gramm had a brain tumor, had surgery, and most people know he kind of got swelled up a little bit. You know, that's a tremendous surgery for anybody to have, open brain surgery. So a lot of things I've read in YouTube videos and what we've seen is that his voice is coming back, and it's even stronger than it was before. So that's exciting.
Foreigner in their heyday was probably a little bit before your time and probably a little bit before my time.
Yes.
But what are some hits people might recognize that Lou Gramm would be singing, just so they can maybe correlate the song with Lou Gramm?
Yeah. And you nail it when the staff books an act, you try to get an act that transcends all generations, that everybody's going to know when they hear a hit song that they've done in the past. And it feels like the first time, Cold as Ice, Long Way from Home, Hard Knocker, Hot Blooded, Double Vision, Dirty White Boy, Head Games, Girl on the Moon, Waiting for a Girl Like You, Jukebox Hero, and then Lou Gramm had his own, which was Midnight Special, I believe, or Midnight Blue. That was his own personal hit. So they got a long list of hits.
You know, sitting here next to the ribs, I'm getting hungry.
Me too, and they smell good.
I keep looking at them, and they do smell really good.
Right.
I guess my next question would be, how many rib vendors do we have this year?
We have 5 rib vendors this year. in addition to that, we have the Joe Blow division. So if you are the backyard master and you want to put them on the line, come on down, $50. We can, have your ribs be judged, and there's prize money to be won.
Now, I understand the format's changed a little bit this year to kind of accommodate some of the restaurateurs and the program in general. I mean, that is a lot of work going around counting tickets, making sure the judges getting all of that facet of the programming, squared away.
Right.
How has it changed a little bit this year?
With Rhythm of Ribs, we're always trying to make the program credible. We don't want people going. We don't want the perception to be that it's rigged in any form or fashion in any way. So Judges' Choice was. We didn't go to the Kansas Barbecue Association and pay for their judges. We didn't go to the St. Louis Barbecue Association and all those groups to buy judges to come out here. We had local dignitaries, but it was completely blind. The styrofoam containers just had numbers on them. Those numbers correlated to a rib bender that only 1 or 2 people had. So they didn't know the judges. But the perception was, well, it was just local dignitaries and the community. So to get away from that, we ixnayed the Judges' Choice, just the people's choice, because the people are what matter. And all in all, that's who matter. The people come to the program, the thousands of people that vote and try the ribs. So we're just going to go with the people's choice and Joe Blow division this year and see how it goes.
But for the restaurateurs, we've tried to water that down as well, too.
Exactly.
We've cut the prize money, and various things like that.
Exactly.
So who are the 5 rib benders? Exactly.
This year we've got Renegades, Hog Wild, Nate's Cowboy Cafe, Gunner's Barbecue, and then we also have Cilantro, which is kind of a newer restaurant in the area. It's a mobile food unit, and they're pretty excited to get into this year.
A new restaurant and mobile food unit. Sounds good.
Yep.
I got kids, Hezekiah.
Yeah.
You know that. And I think I'd probably bring that up, 3-4 times a day?
At least, yeah.
At least. Anyway, if I bring the kids down this year, what will there be for the kids to do?
Like in years past, we've got inflatable rides. We also have games for them to play. Our goal with the Cottonwood Parks Recreation Department is to provide family fun programs. So we try to provide something for everybody at every program.
Hezekiah, we got about 4 or 5 minutes left with this event, similar to TVR. A lot of sponsors.
Yep.
Is there any particular ones, or you have enough time to mention a few of them? Who would you like to recognize?
Definitely, again, Cliff Castle Casino Hotel for allowing us to use the stage this year. Pepsi, Chamber of Commerce. If I didn't mention the Old Town Association, they always help us out. Budweiser comes through for us each year for Thunder Valley Rally and Rhythm of Ribs, and they're a great partner to have. In addition, you got to thank the rib benders that come out. It's a big undertaking for them to prepare the ribs. If anybody's ever cooked ribs before, it's not a throw them on a barbecue, you're eating 30 minutes later type of process. It's a 4 to 8 hour process.
I learned that on Sunday.
Did you?
I bought the ribs at 3 o'clock and thought I could eat them at 6.
Didn't work.
Pretty tough.
Yep.
Anyway, in addition to that, you have a lot of volunteers. Are there any specific volunteers or volunteer groups, agencies that you would like to mention?
Chamber of Commerce, they handle the beer sales for the program, and they do it as a fundraiser for the Chamber of Commerce, but it's all volunteers that are there working. So please don't hassle them when you get your wristband or you have to show your ID. They're just trying to do their job, and they're not getting paid to be there. So
even if you're 70?
Even if you're 70.
I understand you also have Red Dot Club, some other...
Yeah, Red Dot Club, which is basically the Mingus Unit Football nonprofit organization. And they're going to help us set up the stage, tear down the stage, and provide security and VIP area.
Mingus plays Chino Valley tonight. It's going to be a big game. And then I guess lastly, we didn't really talk about the Christopher Robbins Band.
No.
I haven't heard of them. What can you tell me about the Christopher Robbins Band?
You know, it's funny because last night with the farmers market, we had to come up with a band last minute because the band that was supposed to be there couldn't make it. And Christopher Robbins' other guitar player was able to come out, D.K. Gregory, and we were able to chat back and forth, and I learned some new stuff about Christopher Robin. He's kind of new to this area, but he has a distinct history in music. He's toured with the Allman Brothers. He was a member of that band. He actually built his own guitar before he started playing and going and doing shows. Right now he also sits in with Jesse Coulter, the original Lady Outlaw. He's played with the Marshall Tucker Band, Shooter Jennings, Big and Rich. So he's a great act to have, and he's our number 2. So all the bands for Rhythm of Ribs are going to be great.
That sure sounds like it. And as you mentioned, just jumping back to TVR, this is kind of a farewell tour for Major Lingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Hezekiah, that pretty much wraps up everything I had. I know we had to condense it a lot. There's a lot more information out there. I guess in conclusion, could you go ahead and give the people who are watching the telephone number one more time if they want to call about tickets for TVR, ride packages, and/or Rhythm and Ribs?
Yeah, 928-639-3200. In addition to that, they can go online. Rhythm and Ribs and Thunder Valley Rally has their own websites with all the information, all the info on the bands, times, all that stuff. So.
Well, thanks again, Hezekiah, for being here. And if you have a motorcycle, bring it down next weekend, September 14th, 15th, and 16th. With that ride package, you'll get a free ticket to Rhythm and Ribs, so then you can join us on the September 22nd for that program as well. Thanks for tuning in.